It's halfway through 2024, which means it's time to take a look at the goals I had set, both the financial goals and the life goals, and see how we're doing. This really helps me stay on track and correct course as needed. And also sharing with a friend like you helps me stay accountable. I'll reference the 2 original videos below if you're interested in seeing the full process and rationale for the goals I'm about to share in these 8 areas of my life. In this video, I'll go through each category and give each goal a red light for being completely not on track, yellow for making progress but not quite where I want it to be, and green light for completely achieved, done for the year. Let's jump straight to the first section, Airbnb/real estate. I had 2 goals in this category. The first one was to refine Airbnb operations. I wanted to prevent things from falling through the cracks so that we're not having as many major, unexpected, urgent expenses and things just run a little bit more smoothly. I also wanted to feel less anxious and stop catastrophizing on little things about this Airbnb. I'll give this one a green light. I think we've figured out the cadence of how often we want to lay eyes on the house, either personally or with a friend or with an assistant. We now know what are the issues to watch out for. We've fine-tuned our communications with guests and with cleaners and with whoever we're working with. And we've developed a system to keep track of what we need to do when for maintenance. Overall, we're having fewer sudden issues. I'm also now more used to seeing the swings in income from one month to the next. That's just kind of the pattern and how it goes, and that's the seasonality of it. It's making me a little bit less anxious. And that reminds me, I actually need to do an updated financials video. That'll come up next in the next month. P.S. I am still working on compiling all these checklists and templates. I used to have that free Trello board. I'll link it here for the video of it, but Trello no longer allows free sharing to this many people. So I'm taking the opportunity to better organize the templates and checklists that I have. I think it'll be helpful for me when I have that next property to set up, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you guys as well. I'll make sure to post this in the description whenever that's ready. My second goal in this category was to find the next real estate investment, and to be completely honest, this gets a red light. I have not been keeping up with my analyzing 5 deals a day, which I so recommend to everyone, and I still stand by it because it has worked. This is how you stay consistent and get to where you need to go and understand the numbers and understand the market and all those things. I just find myself a little overwhelmed at the moment with a little too much going on with, honestly, urgent things that should be just delegated to someone else, repetitive tasks like fixing broken links in my YouTube description or editing videos or getting stuck on hold with the HVAC company trying to schedule the annual tune-up. I had just recognized this bottleneck in the past month and finally got around to hiring a virtual assistant to offload some of the more repetitive and easily teachable and organizational tasks, which weren't my strength to start with anyway. I know you guys tell me that I seem very organized. It is totally a learned skill and I'm forcing myself to do it. It is not my zone of genius. It's only been a couple of weeks since I've started working with a virtual assistant, but it has already freed up some time to help me analyze more real estate deals. The other thing that I'm doing to prioritize this correctly is to just add a recurring task into my Motion AI scheduling tool, because I realized whatever isn't listed as a to-do here, it doesn't get scheduled and I end up just forgetting to do it. Now it's going to be blocked off periodically 3 times a week in my calendar. Hopefully, I'm now back on track with this goal, and I will have something more exciting to report by the end of this year. In the content creation category, I had also 2 goals. The first one was to get better at the production. I definitely have in terms of the technical aspects of filming and editing. Look back at some of my older videos, and it's jarring how bad they are. I'll give this one a yellow light. For the rest of the year, I want to get better at the efficiency side of this whole production, streamlining the whole process from ideas to scripting to filming to editing to like making the thumbnails, writing the descriptions, uploading the thing, and coordinating with brands if I'm working with brands. Right now, it just feels like I'm constantly behind, so I want to make this more systematic and streamlined. My second goal was to get better at the business aspect of making content online in a way that feels good and feels useful. I think this one gets a yellow light because I know I've increased my income through YouTube and content creation and all the sources around it. I recently shared it in my 9 streams of income video. Feel free to check that out after this one. I've gotten more comfortable with understanding negotiations and contracts and how that all works. So I think I'm on the right track for this goal. It's interesting. What they say is true. If you put yourself out there, the opportunities just kind of open up. There are literally endless ways to make money online, and I didn't quite expect that the difficulty is not figuring out how to make the money. It's more agonizing over which option is the most correct or feels the best. On the one hand, it's been really helpful that I have the clarity on who I am, but on the other hand, I don't know businessy things. I'm making this up as I go. Who's to say that this isn't some mindset hurdle, that I'm standing in my own way with these limiting beliefs? Insert some other life coachy phrase. I genuinely don't know. I'll stop boring you with this introspective talk. A lot more still to learn, but I'm happy with the progress on this goal. Career-wise, I said I wanted to be more confident about this open-mindedness that isn't some linear path upward. Open-minded exploration in the overlap of money, being good and useful, and enjoyment and learning. Yeah, I'm there. Check. Green light. Income goals wise, I am on track with the 3 things that I had set out to do. I wanted to earn 50% more than last year from my non-W2 sources. This is panning out so far, mainly from YouTube, not so much from the other real estate. See above, I have not added any real estate. I plan to reduce my W2 earnings so that I can free up some time to contribute to these other endeavors. And yeah, I've done that. I now have 1 day off per week for this purpose. The third part to this was keeping the overall income very similar this year versus last year. I don't have the final numbers yet, obviously, because we're only halfway through the year, but so far it's looking good. I guess this is yellow by definition. For my spending/investing goals, I wanted to keep up with the investments and savings as is. That's getting a green light. I want to keep prioritizing the kids' travel and food, also green light. And I wanted to meal plan twice a week and minimize the unwanted takeouts with time that I hopefully free up by hiring help. This gets a green light because I have improved on meal planning and I'm cooking more and I'm really happy about that. But the hiring help portion hasn't panned out exactly how I thought it would. Initially, I was thinking, well, if time is of value to me, let's reflect that by spending money in hiring help and freeing up time to have a personal household assistant that can come with some of the meal preps, some of the dropping off UPS boxes for returns, stuff like that. The problem is it's hard to find and train and retain someone who really wants to do this, at least locally. We had someone for a couple of months and it helped a little bit, but the benefit to something like this really scales in the long run because you're investing all this initial time in posting this job, in interviewing for people, picking a person, onboarding the person, training them on what you want done and communicating and setting expectations. And of course, the work initially isn't done super efficiently because they're new. And then a couple of months in, as we are just starting to gain efficiency, our schedules just didn't align anymore. And so there would be a couple weekends when she would cancel very last minute and it just didn't feel like it was worth the hassle to keep going. What did help achieve this goal was cutting down my work hours. Yes, I'm still filming or doing real estate stuff or doing my other side projects on these days, but at least it's flexible. I'm home. As for our net worth, we had 3 goals for the year. The first one was to continue growing our net worth using our current pattern of investing. This we are doing as planned, nothing exciting to report. If you're curious about the details, I'll link the financial goals video below. And I think this one, I'm going to give it a green light. The second goal within net worth was to continue looking at the next rental. See above, working on it. The third goal was to have a small percentage set aside for exploring alternative assets. This, like I said in the previous video, my husband is doing, and we've set it up so that it is confined to a smaller percentage of the portfolio. I'm going to give this one a yellow light for now. I got to check in with him on how things are going. In the health and self-care bucket, I had a number of goals, and unfortunately, these have not progressed as much as I would have liked. My first goal was to daily do some sort of physical activity for 15 minutes. This one is absolutely a red light. If I'm lucky, I'm getting once a week. If you recall from the previous video, I was bringing this yoga mat to work and I was going to lay it out and do some stretches while I'm there. I have used it, but I'm also at work less frequently these days. I think it's a similar root cause to why I haven't been analyzing as many real estate deals. I think I've just overfilled my plate and I need to delegate some of the tasks to get some time back so that I can actually physically go do these things. For the rest of the year, I'm also going to reduce the goal to a more realistic 3 times a week. I'll schedule it as a recurring task with motion again, and I'll let you know how it goes. My second goal was to cook more, and we've already talked about that. This one gets a green light. The third one was to journal at least once a week. It's not quite been weekly, but it's been increased, maybe every other week. I'm happy with the progress. Anything is better than nothing. So I'm giving this a yellow. My fourth goal was kind of a more vanity self-care goal, and that was to get a facial, get my hair done, or do a mani-pedi, do something at the spa once a month. You don't need to tell me twice. This was the easiest goal. Done. My last category was on relationships and travel, basically the things that matter to me most. My 4 goals in this category was to do 2 to 3 international trips with family and friends, monthly road trips to see family, and monthly date night, and monthly make a plan with a friend. These are all scheduled and going really well. I have found that the recurring to-do in motion really has helped with the monthly date nights and monthly meet a friend things, because when the task pops up, it serves as a quick prompt of, hey, when was the last time you hung out with a friend? When was the last time you went out to dinner without the kids? That's it for my year so far. How's yours going? Leave me a comment. Thank you for hanging out with me and keeping me accountable on these goals. I feel re-energized to tackle some of these things that I've been putting off. I hope your week is going well, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!